Hi everybody, my name's Kay, and I'm popping onto YouTube just to say hello and talk to some people who might be kind of in a situation where I am, which is just a normal, average, ordinary, everyday person who's living a pretty rough life and just trying to find a way to muddle through. So, I was brought up kind of rough, actually pretty rough, and didn't have the best situation. And then as I got older, I always thought, oh, it's gonna get better, it'll be my turn. Someday it's gonna be my turn. And all the crap that I'm going through, things that weren't really my fault, that eventually I'm gonna have a day where it kind of stops, and then I'm gonna get a chance to live a life where I'm treated better and things don't always kick my butt, to be honest. Then I grew up, and here I am at 52, and honestly, not a doggone thing has changed. And I think part of that is being brought up the way that I was. I didn't really get set on a good path. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to blame anybody, because blaming people for your circumstances is the stupidest waste of a life. I know, because I work with people every single day who are pissed off at the world because of their circumstances, and instead of taking ownership for what's happening in their life and saying, hey, this is a problem, let me fix it, they're going, well, if I wasn't black, if I wasn't green, if I wasn't homosexual, if I wasn't heterosexual, if I didn't live here, if I didn't make this much money, if I didn't drive this kind of car, if I didn't have this label, like, oh my God, I wouldn't have such a better life because the grass is always greener. That myth that the grass is always greener is a myth. It doesn't matter how many times you say it, you're never going to make it true. Because the bottom line is, life is what you get. And if you're having problems in this world, it's a challenge that you're supposed to overcome, because there's some part of you that's supposed to grow. And then when that part grows, you're going to have more challenges. And I know what I'm talking about, because my life is never ending challenges. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters. My dad was a Vietnam vet who became a cop. My mom was his friend, so they got married after the war. It wasn't a love story, it was more a convenience. They had me, and it was pretty good. I lived a decent, little kid kind of childhood. We, barely made ends meet. My dad went to work, and we lived meagerly, not impoverished, but meagerly. And in the course of my dad's duties, he would run across a bunch of kids who had abusive parents, and he had a standing order with the court that he could take home kids that he found in extreme distress. So I have a bunch of foster sisters and brothers. Sorry, cleaning my kitchen while we talk, because there's never a perfect time to sit down, make myself beautiful, have a lovely little backdrop. So if you're watching my videos, I'm just me every day doing my thing. So anyways, back to my story. So then my third sister came along. When she was pregnant, when my mom was pregnant, because my dad was working a lot and trying to get his bachelor's degree, because you had to agree to promote in the department. He pulled me outside and said, hey, you're going to take over the guy chores around the property. You're basically going to be the man about the house. while I'm working and stuff, because your mom can't lift hay and take care of the animals, because we had like a full, lived out in the country, had a full like farm basically, horses, cows, we grew our own food basically. And so I'm 6, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna take over the man chores on the property. Okay, daddy, you know, what little girl doesn't want to please her daddy? So did the best I could. Little 6-year-old girl feeding like 10 horses and 3 cows and 12 pigs and climbing in a chicken coop. And anyways, so my mom has my youngest sister, and then my dad realizes he doesn't have a son, and something inside of him just changed with me. And until the day he died at the age of, I was 40 at the time. From the moment my sister was born, he hated me for not being a boy. Breakfast. I didn't understand that. He became abusive, mentally abusive, every day. Stupid, couldn't figure out what's wrong with me. I never grew up to be anything productive. Nobody'd ever loved me. This became the verbal routine that I got for the rest of my life. My younger sisters, of course, could do no wrong. They were allowed to be who they were. They were encouraged, pampered, coddled. The one closest to me was my dad's favorite. My youngest sister became my mom's favorite. They had issues, and I was expected to take care of the property, clean up all the dead animals, and take care of all the chores. And my dad would buy me pickup trucks, and I loved horses. So growing up, I was allowed to play with pickup trucks and horses and boy things. Wasn't allowed to play Barbie dolls. I wasn't allowed to play dress up. I wasn't allowed to do girl things. There's a whole video about how, you know, things happened when I became a teenager, and that's a long video. I'm just giving you background. Anyways, long story short, when you grow up and you're told that you have no value and that nobody will love you and you're not good for anything, then the 1 or 2 guys you interact with in your life treat you like trash. So when I was 24, I tried to join the same department that my dad worked for, because I figured, well, he doesn't love me and doesn't respect me, so maybe if I do the same job he does, he'll learn that I'm a good person, basically. And I met a guy, and I was tired of struggling and being mistreated and stuff, so I got mad at God, and I was like, fine, you know, if you're gonna take care of everybody else and give good things to everybody else, and I'm just trying to do the right thing and I'm getting shafted, well, screw you. And so I kind of spit in God's face and told him that I was going to be like everybody else and not be a good person anymore. So he walks a character building jerk right into my path, and we dated for a few months. And he came from an abusive family, and he had a brother who was severely disabled, and where I stepped in thinking I was going to be carefree and lack compassion and just, you know, be like everybody else and just think of myself first. I saw all these broken people in his family, and I thought, I need to help them. And so we got married, and he became violent and abusive. And then one of his friends called me up one day and said, hey, you need to know that every day when you drop him off at work, he's having sex with a different girl. So I followed him and found out this was true, confronted him, and he tried to kill me that night. And I ended up sitting in the bathroom with my loaded duty weapon because I had become a law enforcement officer at that time. And he was trying to get through the door, and it was, hey, come through the door and I'll kill you, or leave the house. So after 2 hours, I was sitting there in fear of my life and thinking, great, I'm going to end up killing my husband and going to jail for the rest of my life because nobody's going to believe me, because my dad was on the department that I worked for, and he went out of his way to be mean. We'll just put it that way. So marriage number one ends, and now I'm ashamed because I never wanted to get married and be divorced. So then, like 3 years later, I'm on the job, and then walks this other guy, and he's friendly and carefree, and I met him and was helping him get oriented like I did everybody, and we started joking, and he was just nice and treated me well, and accepted me for who I was. And so we would laugh and joke, and long story short, we ended up dating, and then I went through some medical issues, and actually as a result of my abusive husband, number one, and had to have some surgery, and I was told I would never get to be a mom. So, the second guy walks into my life and sits there with me and goes through the surgeries, and he's kind and doesn't hate everything about me and doesn't think I'm a total screw up. I sang, so he would go with me to venues and baseball games where I do the national anthem and stuff and support me. And after my surgery, he wanted to be intimate. And he had been so kind to me for so long that I thought, the least I could do. I'm already ruined, My family thinks I'm a piece of crap, and my first husband abused me, and, it's not like I'm anything special. So when he wanted to be intimate, I was like, it's the least I could do for him. He's done so much for me. So we were intimate. And I kid you not, 9 months later, I'm a mom. So we're intimate. I find out I'm pregnant. I call him up. I'm like, hey, don't worry about this. You're a good guy. I'll make you a part of the kid's life. We're not getting married. I'm not going to get married to somebody just because. And for his own reasons, a couple months later, he proposed and told me that he loved me, and it wasn't about the baby, and that he wanted to get married to me. Well, I had heard him talking to his daughters because he had a prior wife who had cheated on him numerous times. And so I had befriended his daughters just while we were dating because they were his daughters, and they're good girls. And I told the girls, look, I have no interest in being your mom. You've got a mom. I want to be your friend. And we'll just take it one step at a time. I'm here for you. Let's see how life goes. Okay? And so when he proposed, I was kind of surprised because, like I said, I had overheard him talking to the girls and saying, I'm never going to get married again. I don't want to get married again. And then he proposes. So I thought, okay. In the back of my mind, I wasn't really sure. I felt like he might have been doing the guy thing where do the right thing and, marry the girl if you get her pregnant. But he said all the right things, told me I needed to be cherished, and I really had been waiting my whole life for somebody to say that to me. So we got married. And here it is 25 years later. We have 3 beautiful children, and from day one, he had really no interest in being a husband. He did what he was supposed to do as far as obligations and providing. Not saying we didn't have a few good moments here and there, but he just didn't know how to be a husband. And then the recession hit in 2008, and something inside of him broke, and he couldn't recover from it. So that became an issue. And then a couple months after that, his parents died, one from cancer and the other one from a stroke. And within 2 days of his parents dying, my dad was diagnosed with cancer, the one who was abusive my whole life. And guess who was the only person who was able to take care of him? The daughter that he hated. So that was a fun 4 months, being told that, I'm a perpetual screw up and why couldn't I get my life together? And, my sisters were doing well and I wasn't. And like I said, that's another video. And so here we are today. And so that's a very brief synopsis of my life. There have been strokes, child with rare medical condition. I had a brain tumor. We lost everything. Still protecting and serving. I've been on the department for 32 years. Don't get treated the way that I should have been lost and forgotten along the way, been sabotaged. Life happens. So why am I doing this video? Why am I here? What's so special about me? Well, first of all, there's nothing special about me, okay? I'm normal. I'm ordinary. I'm everyday. Not pretty, not rich, not in an amazing relationship. My house is falling down around my ears, literally. My kids are struggling with health issues. My husband and I are separated. I'm still doing the job every day and not making enough money to get by. So what's the purpose? The purpose of having the conversation is twofold. One, I learned quickly when I was being abused to read people and to identify with their struggles. And I've had a lot of people ask me to share my story because little bits and pieces have helped them along the way. I've been told numerous times that I should put it out on the internet because maybe somebody would be better off after hearing parts of it. That may or may not be true. But on the chance that it could be, I want you to know that you're not alone. Okay? There are so many of us that are struggling out in the world, and you look at a cop and you think, oh my God, they've got their life together and, they're just a uniform. This cop, abused, almost murdered by her husband, severe medical issues, child with a rare medical condition, crap marriage, okay? Every week, something huge breaks down. I live in a home that's unsafe, and I am barely eking by. So don't just judge somebody by the job they're doing, or the uniform they're wearing, or the way that their hair is combed, or the tattoos on their body, or their title, because you have no idea what they've gone through and what's going on behind them and what they've survived. And two, I understand now, because I have spent my life having moments where I couldn't get out of bed. I did, because I was the only person who could take care of my kids at the time. I know what it's like to not have the strength or the stamina or the energy or the will to get out of bed. I know what it's like to face an abuser every day and try to get through it. I know what it's like to be in a loveless, miserable marriage. I know what it's like to sit in a hospital and pray to God that your child survives the procedure. I know what it's like to go into a hospital and pray to God that you make it out of the procedure so that you can continue to be there for your kids. I know what it's like to sit on the side of the road. I know what it's like to be in a vehicle accident. I know what it's like to deal with being sexually assaulted. I know what it's like to face somebody who's trying to kill you. I know what it's like to have compassion for those that I'm putting in handcuffs. I know what it's like to have a conversation with somebody who has zero remorse for the crimes that they've committed: murder, rape, child molest. Because I talked to the people I've arrested. I've talked to the people that are in custody. You want to know the truth? That's a whole nother video. Rise above. Everything that we go through, every single little thing you go through every single day is character building. And I have cried out to God, why? Where's the help? Rescue me. And I'm still here. In the same place that I've made those pleas. And I know now that it's not about, does God love me? It's about, I have to go through crap so that I can understand how someone else feels when they go through crap. Because somewhere along the way, and I've learned this by responding to calls on patrol, some of the stuff that I had gone through was so awful that when I went out on a call and ran into somebody who was going through the same thing, I was exactly what they needed on that call. I had the compassion, I had the understanding, I had the experience, I knew exactly where they were coming from. So if you're going through a pile of crap and it's never ending, over and over and over again, every single week, every single day, you can't catch a break, nobody to help you, nobody gives a crap, you are supposed to rise above. Find the strength inside. You can do it. And be ready to help someone else go through it. That's what it's about. This world is so lost with people who are so busy whining and crying about their situation and looking for somebody else to swoop in and rescue them. Ice pack, sorry. I got a blood draw yesterday and it went bad. It's very painful. If you spend your life waiting to be rescued, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be 65 and you're going to go, where'd my life go? But if you live every day and say, okay, there's going to be challenges today and I have to rise above. And some days you cry through them. Some days you take a walk and just scream at God. Like, what the hell? When is enough enough? And then you calm down, you come back to your senses, and you're like, all right, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I have to go through it, but I know there's a reason. Give me the strength to push through and try again tomorrow. So, you're not alone. You can do it. The way that I survived the abuse that I got from my parents was I just said to myself over and over inside my head, their opinion of me is not who I really am. I'm a good person inside. Doesn't matter what they think of me. I'm not ugly like they say I am. I'm muddling through when I didn't have the energy. Come on, your kids need you to show them that things happen after the bad stuff. Keep going, keep going. And I'm telling you folks that, being a cop doesn't mean you can always pay your bills. Doesn't mean you have enough food for your children. Doesn't mean that you don't have bad things happen to you. What it means is that you choose to not only be strong enough to take care of your family, but you're going to go out in the world while you're taking care of your family and take care of those who can't take care of themselves. That's all a cop is. It's somebody who realizes that there has to be a protector. And a lot of people, most people on this planet, don't have the spine, don't have the ability to stand in the scariest situations and hold the line, and they don't care about people beyond themselves. So if you're dealing with a cop, You're not dealing with somebody who's full of hate. You're dealing with somebody who's got an extremely large abundance of compassion and love. And for those of you who just want to continue to blame everyone for your problems, you're not going to like hearing them. For those of you who want to be haters because so many people in your life make the wrong decision and they want someone else to pay their bill for all those stupid decisions, then you're not going to like me. You know what? Don't care. Don't care. You're not going to be the first. You won't be the last. But I don't live for you. I live for the people who are trying to get by on this planet, who want to make a difference and want to have a good life. For everybody who's pissed off, for everybody who hates everybody, for the people who refuse to take responsibility for their own decisions, their own actions, and their own consequences, you're not my people. I'm not here for you. I'm here for the people who are trying to do the right thing, trying to get by, trying to just be left alone and live their lives. Those are the people I'm going to take care of. I'm going to take care of the children. Don't hurt a child in front of me. You and I will have a problem. I'm here for the elderly people. Same deal. Don't hurt an elderly person in front of me. You and I will have a problem. Don't go after an innocent kid. Don't be abusive. And don't make excuses. Everything that we do every single day is a choice. I choose to get up and help others. I choose to get up and take care of my family. I choose to get up and put a uniform on and try to make a difference in the world. Consequences? I might get hurt, I might get killed, or I might make a positive difference and help somebody. If you get up and you plan to hurt somebody, and you have a huge painful consequence for that, and your family struggles, your fault. Not mine, not everybody who catches you. Your fault. If you wake up and you hate the world because of your skin color, that doesn't make me a racist. That makes you a racist. I'm not looking at you for your skin color. You're looking at everyone for their skin color. Racist. I have family members who are Black, Asian, immigrants. Guess what, folks? We're all mutts. We're all mutts. We all came from the Garden of Eden. I've got red blood. You've got red blood. That's all that matters. Enough of the bull crap. I don't care what your last name is. I don't care what you look like. What I care about is the choices you make when you're standing in front of me. Make a good choice, we're friends. Make a bad choice, we've got a problem. And make excuses for those choices, well, that's on you. Live miserably every day, I don't care. So, that's a pretty heavy first video, don't you think? All right, I got dishes to do because I'm the only one who's going to do them. And I've got life to live, and I want you to know that struggles are real. They build character. Life sucks for everybody in their home, their way, okay? You're not the woe is me person that struggles the most on this planet. Don't care about your religion, your race, your sexuality. Don't care about your skin color. There's a reason God made all of our blood the same color. It's because we all have to live by the same rules. We all have to make the same choices to treat people the way that we would like to be treated. If you want me to respect you, respect me. You want me to get in your face and push my religion and sexuality on you? Well, then get in my face, push your religion and sexuality on me, and I will give it right back. I'm reactive. You treat me the way you want me to treat you. I'll start you out assuming you want respect, and I'll treat you respectfully. But when you change the channel, I'm prepared to answer. And that's whether I'm wearing the uniform or not. So be good people, make good choices, get good consequences. Life's a struggle. It's not going to be easy. You've got what it takes. Get up and choose to be victorious over your circumstances today. I hope you have a great day. Be safe out there. This is Kay, and just a mom, just a person. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.